I looked into the well one time. I wish I hadn't, because something inside looked back, and it knew my name. I grew up in a small village in southern Nigeria, small enough that if someone sneezed on one side of the village, people on the other side would hear about it before sunset. There were no streetlights. At night the whole place went dark except for lanterns and cooking fires. Dogs barked at shadows. Crickets made noise in the grass. And elders told stories children were not supposed to hear. At the center of the village stood an old well. It sat under a large mango tree that leaned over it like it was trying to hide it. The stones around the well were old and dark. Moss grew between the cracks. Some of the stones looked like they had been there for hundreds of years. Nobody used that well. We had another well near the farms and a river not too far away. But this one was different. And there was one rule everyone knew. Never look inside it. Not even by accident. When I was 8 years old, I asked my grandmother why. She was sitting outside our house, peeling cassava with a small knife. Chickens walked around her feet. "Grandma," I said, pointing toward the mango tree, "why does nobody fetch water from that well?" She didn't answer right away. She stopped cutting. Then she slowly lifted her head and looked at me in a way that made me wish I had never asked. "Water is not the problem," she said quietly. "Then what is?" I asked. She wiped her hands on her wrapper and leaned closer to me. "It is what lives under the water." I waited for her to laugh. She didn't. Instead, she added one more thing. "It only needs one person to look." Then she went back to peeling cassava like the conversation was over. In our village, when elders speak like that, you don't argue. But children are curious. And curiosity is a dangerous thing. There were 6 of us who used to play near that mango tree. Me, my cousin Sola, twin brothers Peter and Paul, a quiet girl named Amaka, and the youngest boy, Kunle. Kunle was always the bold one, the kind of boy who would climb the tallest tree just to prove he could. If someone said something was dangerous, Kunle wanted to try it even more. One afternoon, we were playing football with a ball made from old plastic bags tied together. The ball rolled close to the well. We all froze. Nobody wanted to go get it. Kunle laughed. "You people are scared of a hole in the ground," he said. "It's not just a hole," Amaka said. "My mother said the well is bad." Kunle rolled his eyes. "Your mother says everything is bad." He walked over and picked up the ball. Then he looked at the well. The top of it was open back then, just a dark circle under the mango tree. Kunle stepped onto the stone edge. "Let me just look inside," he said. My stomach tightened. "Don't," Sola said quickly. "They said we should not." Kunle leaned forward. Before he could look down, a voice shouted from across the road, "Get down." We all jumped. It was Baba Efe, the oldest man in the village. His back was usually bent and he walked slowly with a stick. But that day he moved fast. Faster than I had ever seen him move. He grabbed Kunle by the arm and pulled him off the well. "You want to die?" he asked. Kunle tried to laugh, but his face looked pale. "It's just water." Baba Efe shook his head. "No." He pointed at the well. "That thing has taken enough." We all went quiet. Then he said something that stayed in my head for years. "It only needs one person to look." That evening, the elders gathered near the well. By the next day, they had nailed thick wooden planks across the top of it. From that moment, the well was sealed. Every evening, one of the elders checked to make sure the planks were still there. Nobody talked about it, but everyone avoided the mango tree. Years passed. We grew older. School, farming, chores. Life continued like normal. Sometimes we joked about the well, but nobody touched it, except Kunle. Kunle never liked being told what he could not do. When we were about 16, the dry season came harder than usual. The river started shrinking. The other well became muddy. Water was not easy to find anymore. One evening, Kunle sat with us under a tree and said something that made Amaka stand up immediately. "What if the old well still has water?" he said. Sola shook his head. "No." Kunle laughed. "You still believe those old stories?" Peter said quietly, "My father said nobody should open it." Kunle looked at all of us. "So you people will walk far every day for water because of a story?" Nobody answered. That night something happened. Someone removed the wooden planks. Nobody saw who did it, but we all knew. The next morning the well was open again, and Kunle was gone. At first people thought he had run away, but his slippers were beside the well, just sitting there. like he had stepped out of them. The elders closed the well again immediately. This time they used heavy iron sheets. 3 days later, the knocking started. It was past midnight. My father woke up suddenly and sat up in bed. "Do you hear that?" he whispered. I listened. At first I thought it was a goat hitting a fence. Then I heard it. Knock, knock, knock. Slow, hollow, like something hitting stone from deep underground. People started coming out of their houses. Lanterns lit the road. Everyone stood far away from the well. Nobody went too close. Then we heard a voice. "Help me," women gasped. It sounded like Kunle, weak, like someone trapped in a hole. "Please, help me." A young man named Tunda stepped forward, but Baba Fa grabbed his arm. "No," the old man said. "That is how it calls." The voice kept begging. For a long time. Some people cried because it sounded exactly like Kunle. Then slowly, the voice changed. It still sounded like him, but something else was mixed in, like two people speaking at once. Then three, then many. The words became strange, wet, wrong, like a mouth full of water trying to talk. After that night, the knocking stopped. Kunle was never found. Not a body, not bones, nothing. The elders sealed the well again, this time with concrete. A heavy lid that took 5 men to place on top. They planted thorn bushes around it so nobody could go near. Years passed. I left the village for school in the city. Life became busy. Sometimes I forgot about the well completely. Until 2 years ago. I returned to the village for my uncle's funeral. The village looked the same. Same dirt roads. Same mango tree. And the well was still there. Covered. Quiet. That night, I could not sleep. The house felt hot. So I went outside to walk. The moon was bright. As I walked past the mango tree, something caught my eye. The concrete cover on the well had cracked. Just a small opening, but enough to see darkness inside. I stood there for a long time. My grandmother's words came back to me. It only needs one person to look. I should have walked away, but I didn't. I stepped closer. The air near the well felt colder. The smell was strange, like wet earth mixed with something rotten. My heart was beating hard. Slowly, I bent down, and I looked inside. At first I saw nothing, just darkness. Then something moved deep below, very far down. Something pale floating under the water. I leaned closer, trying to see what it was. Then it blinked. My whole body froze. It was a face, looking up, waiting. The skin looked swollen and pale. The eyes were wide open, and the mouth slowly stretched into a smile. Then I heard something, a sound from deep inside the well. Knock, knock, knock. But the face never stopped smiling. The next morning the elders repaired the crack. Nobody asked me anything. But when Baba Fa saw me, he stared at my face for a long time. Then he said quietly, "So, it has seen you too." I did not ask what he meant. But sometimes, late at night, when everything is quiet, I hear knocking. Slow, patient. And sometimes, I hear a voice under it. Soft, wet, calling my name from the dark water.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more. Bye!